Hello and welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. My name is Nelson, your totally immersed power gamer, and we're revisiting Inkarnate. I've been playing around with it a little bit. I've only got 3 maps, and their creation is really fast. It only takes about half an hour to maybe an hour to splop down a map that is quite good. um, but I've got about 3 things I want to talk about Inkarnate right now. Let's move to one of these maps here. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is this border. It's an integrated border. It's part of the background. It's part of the blank map. Now, if you can look at this piece of land or these pieces of land in the corner, when you're painting your continent on the map, it paints over the background. So it paints over the border. Personally, I would enjoy if the border sat on top of everything. So if that pre-rendered border could be removed and reintroduced as a separate option, maybe a separate tab on the side, such as the text tab or the pin tab, to give like a global change and possibly slowly introduce different border styles into the map, I think would add a lot to Inkarnate. That's one. I was going through this feedback section over here, and one of the things that I saw that was a question I believe from the devs about where you want Inkarnate to go is the ability to change the resolution, to change the sizes of the map. And I think before going in that direction, that possibly click on objects, select. Now, see this little compass? No doubt that they are going to have more than one compass rose in the future, but you can move the compass, you can pan it around, you can rotate it. However, you cannot scale it, and that goes true for any of the objects. None of the objects in Inkarnate have a scale feature. So personally, I think introducing a scale feature or scaling functionality into the objects of Inkarnate would possibly be a better route to go initially before worrying about the size of the documentation. The third thing is the sculpt tool, and how if you look at the coastlines, I love to have a really jagged feel to my coastlines. There's something about how it breaks up, and it's beautiful to me. I thoroughly enjoy it. When I make my maps using Photoshop, I go in there with my pen and just jag it away. It seems to me that Inkarnate has some sort of smoothing feature. Like, I go to the size and I'll go all the way down to 2, and I could get it, but I can't get that line quite as tight as I'd like to. Like, I'm going pretty small, and it's hard to see, but it just doesn't seem to be there. It's almost like it has a smoothing feature. I'm not entirely sure why. Yes, I said why and not why, because I need coffee. So, with that said, with the inability to zoom any of the objects provided to us, and with the coastlines being a little bit difficult to get to really get in there, very tight, as well as the trees they have supplied and the mountains being of a static size. Inkarnate right now seems to be geared towards a specific zoom level. I can definitely see it taking on several zoom levels, world map, such as, this is more or less a continent map. I have, go to my maps. I tried to do 3 different variations on scale. A little bit more of a ranging world map, ranging through biomes, trying to get a little bit further in the zoom, and finally getting real close, almost regional, getting pretty close in there. Now, I've seen other people's maps with Inkarnate, and they go in. It's an entire, there's no ocean, there's like a sea or a lake even, and that's it. Like they go that tight. My problem with doing that in Inkarnate is the border, which I mentioned before. Even with this one, as you can see, the land goes over the border, and there's nothing you can do about that. Also, because of the way this is set up, sometimes I click down here by mistake. I have this on my tablet, but if you have a Windows bar at the bottom, I could see people hacking away at their maps, having a blast, and clicking one of the Windows buttons, clicking the taskbar, just having a pop-up, and okay, boom, back to the map. It's not a huge deal, but I guess it's worth pointing out. I don't know. But yeah, right now, those 3 things. A scale feature in the objects. A separate border feature where we can turn on and off the border, and possibly in the future choose different border styles. And the fact that 3, Inkarnate seems to have a desired zoom level right now. You can get away with multiple zoom levels. You can just go to Inkarnate on Facebook and see some of the things other people have done, and they've gotten away with it. I'm just, I guess, particular. So I think that's all for now, except another sip of coffee. So until next time, my name is Nelson, your totally immersed power gamer, and this has been Infinite Roleplay. I'll check you guys next time. I'll play with some more Inkarnate. Till then, peace.